Alright, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Kalayim La Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Harakakadash, and double honest to the elders and apostles, the great millstone GMS who do rule and teach well. Today I'm going to talk about Ecclesiastes 7 and 1. A good name is better than precious ointment in the day of death, the day of one's birth. Going to the word ointment, shaman, which is medicament, staple, or unguent. Right, so something for medicine, right? Grease, olive, often perfumed, right? Something that could be used for medicine in the day of death and the day of one's birth, right? So, what does all this mean? And yeah, all the precepts for you here. Actually, didn't look at this, right? Have regard to thy name, for that shall continue with thee above 1,000 great treasures of gold, of course. But what I wanted to discuss was why is the day of death better than the day of one's birth? This book of Job 3 and 3, let the day perish when I was born, the night in which it is said, there is a man conceived, let the day be darkness, let not God regard from above, let a light shine upon it, let the shadow and death stand upon it, shadow of death shine upon it, let it cloud dwell upon it, let the blackness of the day terrify it. We see here. This is the book of Job 3 and 11. Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Why did my knees prevent me? And why did the breast that should suck? For now I should have lain still and been quiet. I should have slept, and then had I been at rest. Right, rest be in the spirit world. Right, because Job was going through it. The Lord put Job, to dire straits to pretty much test him. Right. With kings and councils of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves, or with kings that had gold who filled their houses with silver. And of course, we don't go through the same thing as Job. A lot of brothers go through, rough things in life. But it's all to test us at the end of the day. Are we, you can still come on the truth, or are you just gonna, curse the Most High and in your dire straits, make not haste in time of trouble. Or as a timely birth had not been born, or princes that had gold who filled the house with silver, right? With kings and councils of the earth which built desolate places for themselves, or the princes that had gold to fill their houses with silver, or as an hidden timely birth had not been, as infants which never saw light. Did the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest? Did the prisoners rest together? They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there. The servant is free from his master. Wherefore is light given to him that is a misery, and life unto the bitter. And soul, which long for death, but it cometh not, and dig for it more than for hidden treasures, which rejoice exceedingly and are glad when they can find the grave. Right? So that is why the day of death is better than one's birth, right? Because the end of misery, the end of suffering that you deal with in this horrible, corrupt world, that has gotten this way, going all the way back to the fall in the Garden of Eden, right? The grain of evil seed, it's a sin being sold in the world, being sold within us, within our people, and it's just, it's only gotten worse since then, and it's still getting worse as we speak, everything's wicked, and that's, as we always mention, Isaiah 24, and, stuff like that, gross darkness to people. I think it's Isaiah 60, and pretty much also, pretty much as I said before, because we live in sin, the day of one's death is better than the day of one's life, because in death you cease from sinning. So that's why Solomon said it. Solomon is not advocating for people to go kill themselves. Solomon is not advocating for people to just be all fucked up and stuff. There's been times in the book of Solomon, not Solomon, in the book of Ecclesiastes and Proverbs and stuff like that, where he just says, live a simple life, just be with your wife, the wife of your bosom, and eat thy bread and go in peace. There's so many things like that. There's scriptures out there in Sirach, which obviously Solomon didn't write Sirach, but I'm just saying it's across the wisdom books that always tell us, not to give ourselves over to heaviness and depression and things like that. And when you lose a friend, don't, like mourn over them. I mean, like, if a friend dies or something, or you could, change that with any sort of family member, or any you could change it with a lot of things, or if some brothers in the truth have lost brothers that were like in the truth with them, and then like he died, he could have been sick, and then he got the ghost, you know. But yeah, so as I was saying, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to kind of get into it because I remember that GMS video not too long ago. I talked about it. The Edomite was basically trying to say that books of Solomon are not Bible. That Solomon was basically calling for us to be, like depressed and nihilistic, and he just doesn't understand what the books and the writings of Solomon are really about. And that's pretty much his show.